Every single one of us, at some point in our lives, loses our temper, acts in anger, and unthoughtfully, unmindfully. And some of us more than others. And this is due to our different life experiences, the way our brains are wired. So many different factors play into that. But for many of us, we can much more easily get that irritated, frustrated, worked up, blood boiling feeling. And we respond in ways we would later regret. And so there are a lot of great ways to help us to stay mindful, stay present when we feel that blood pressure start to elevate, that heart rate start to increase. And there's a fantastic meditation that we can do that will help us to communicate with our subconscious and to help us remember to stay present, stay mindful in those situations that really get our anger and blood boiling. It's really important that we connect on that deep subconscious level, because consciously we know there's no reason to lose our temper. There's no reason to let stress get to us. There is no reason to react in a automatic, counterproductive way that doesn't help us reach the goal that we're trying to reach, doesn't help us get what we want to get out of a situation, and really is only hurting ourselves. We've all been in that situation where someone may have genuinely done something to provoke us, and we react in a way that is not the smartest or wisest, and suddenly the argument or the discussion turns from what that original act was to the reaction. And so we are only hurting ourselves. We are only giving ammunition to the other people, and we are hurting our own argument by not responding intelligently, calmly, and with our highest intellect. Instead, we are enraged, and we have just, we're like a screaming, mindless person, and we could just be screaming gibberish for all we know, because we're not using our highest mental capacities. And so this method I'm about to share is really powerful for helping us in those times of needs keep our wits about us, keep our self collected and poised, and to recognize when we feel that anger arising. And as long as we witness that anger arising, then it cannot carry us away. So this is a meditation method that I call the sledding method, or the snow sledding method. And it's based on this premise where we develop habits. And each time we do an action, we are creating a neural pathway in our brain. And it is much like when we go sledding down a hill in the snow. And when there's a fresh layer of snow and we sled down that hill, we could go any number of infinite directions. But as we go down once, we create a groove in that pathway. And as we go down again, we are likely to go down that same groove because it has been carved, and we deepen that groove every time we go down that hill. And so we are eventually going to create a very deep groove that is the path of least resistance, the fastest way down the hill. And that is the way the sled will keep going until we have a new snowfall. And when we have developed this anger response, each time we respond in anger, we create a neural pathway in the brain that says when this cause happens, when this person does this thing, or when someone offends me, or when someone attacks me, I will respond in this anger way. That becomes a habit. And we have to unlearn that habit and retrain a new habit. And the more we respond positively and wisely, the more we're creating a new path to go down. And it is essential to get it into that deep subconscious level, because when we react unconsciously, we are in autopilot. We are not fully in control, and we are in that reactionary, habitual state of mind. And so what this meditation does is creates that new groove and strengthens it. And it is profoundly powerful. And the way that that works is we sit in meditation and we close our eyes and we just observe our breath for a couple minutes. And once we have relaxed our body and mind, we visualize the situation where we are reacting with anger, that situation that really provokes us, and we fully imagine and visualize someone upsetting us, someone saying the worst possible things that can really get under our skin. Whatever it is that makes us lose our temper, that is what we visualize. And we visualize that situation over and over again. And we really live in that situation. And we hear the words, and we smell the room, and we feel the walls and the textures, and we really feel completely that we are in that situation, and we fully visualize the most triggering thing that makes us get angry. Over time, we witness ourselves responding in the way we most want to see ourselves respond. In this clear, calm setting of meditation, we are able to have all of our clarity, and we are able to really think clearly about how we will really wish we could respond in these situations. And so it is essential that when we do these meditations, we see ourselves responding in the way that gets the best outcome for our intentions. And rarely is that screaming and losing our temper. And each single time we visualize this triggering scenario and our wise, calm, positive response, we are creating that new habit. To the brain, there is no difference between remembering or visualizing and actually having an experience. They're exactly the same to the brain. And so if you want to build a habit, you can do the sledding meditation where you visualize over and over again doing that behavior that you want to see yourself adopt. And once you've done that for 10 or 20 minutes a day, you've finished the meditation with just focusing on your breathing again, settling back in and just calming your whole body and mind. And you do this for, again, 5, 10, 20 minutes a day, as much as you're able to do. Don't put pressure on yourself. Just allow the meditation to be a relaxing experience. Don't worry you're doing it wrong. If you just try it, you're doing it right. And if you do that every day for a week or 2 weeks, and when you find yourself in that triggering situation, you are very likely to respond in that highest consciousness, best version of yourself response that you've practiced over and over again. It's highly effective. This is the same technique that many athletes use before a big game. They will visualize every play going exactly the way they want it to go. They visualize these super fast motion plays and how their body needs to move quicker than they can think. And by doing this over and over again, this visualization, they're creating the muscle memory. They're creating the second nature, habitual, automatic response they want to happen in these split-second plays. And they are making it become their new habit. And they are much more likely to get into that flow and to be present and to respond to each moment as it happens because they've already experienced it and they're ready for it. And this is how we can create new habits. This is how we can create new, thoughtful, mindful responses. And this is how we can stay present in those moments that we are normally losing ourselves in. And we can create a new habit that is free from losing our temper and free from anger.